Hello and welcome to the Anxious Knitter podcast. My name is Joy and I'm the Anxious Knitter. I'm so anxious that every time I have to be somewhere, whether it's an event or a movie, I always have this moment of, what if I'm in the wrong place? Even after I've already arrived and the event or the movie has started. Hey! You're here for episode 13, guys. Like I said, my name is Joy, and I'm coming to you today from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, where I live with my husband Luke and our dog Opie. This is a podcast mostly about knitting, crochet, and occasionally sewing, not mine, and whatever other crafty thing catches my fancy at the moment. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. It means a lot that you want to spend a little part of your day with me, and if you are brand new, just stumbling on my little corner of the internet for the first time, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. I feel like I said that weird, but whatever. I feel like that's going to be a theme this episode. Yeah, so I hope you guys have all had a good week. My week has been sort of weird. I feel a little bit like a garbage troll that has just like climbed out of its trash cave for the first time in like 7 days and is trying to interact with humans in like a way that is normal, but is not quite making it. I don't know if you've ever felt like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, guys. I just haven't been sleeping, is really what it is. And I think it's probably, I always get a little weird around my birthday. I'm like really weird about celebrations. It's like, okay, this has nothing to do with anything, but I'm just gonna tell you anyway, because I feel like this episode's just gonna be like that. I know, did I already say that? I think I did. But anyway, when Luke and I got married and I had a bridal shower, I didn't want one, actually. I didn't want a shower. But I remember I was so anxious about it that I like got to the shower and I just double-fisted 2 glasses of sangria. I'm not a drinker, by the way, but, yeah, that was the only way I could get through it. That's how I just don't like it. I don't like my birthday. I don't really celebrate my birthday beyond, like, Luke and I going out for dinner and stuff, but whatever. It's fine. Everything is fine. So why don't we just jump right in, because I think I could probably waffle for 20 whole minutes, and that's not what you're here for. You're here for the knitting stuff and for the dweeb stuff. Whatevs. So why don't we get started with my dweeb story of the week? And I have one today, and it is my dweeb story. Yeah, so I live in a low-rise apartment building, and we live on the top floor, so I think it's like the 4th floor. We used to live on the 17th floor of a building, but that was like horrific because our elevators kept breaking. But anyway, we don't have an elevator or anything because it's 4 flights, but I mean, those stairs are steep, and we get a shocking number of solicitors of all types selling all types of stuff. And I'm always like really impressed that they are that committed to walking up those stairs, but I really don't like when people come to the door and they are not, 1, my landlord, who I do really like our landlords, and 2, someone delivering a wonderful package to me, which I'm expecting a package from Sephora today. Who knows, maybe it'll come while I'm filming, because I'm filming kind of late in the morning for me. So anyway, a couple days ago, I get a knock on the door, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know it's not going to be my landlord. There's no reason for my landlord to be here. I'm not expecting a package. It's going to be a solicitor trying to sell me something. And when that happens, even when it is my landlord, because I don't know right off the top of, my head that it's going to be my landlord, Opie will always go and bark at the door, and usually that drives me kind of crazy, the barking. I mean, you've heard it, you've seen it, it's annoying. But in this one instance, I'm kind of okay with it. So when the knock comes at the door, like it did 3 days ago or whatever, Opie goes running, he's barking. I will be in, like, I was on the couch. I, like, tiptoe all the way around through the kitchen while he's barking so they can't see or hear, like, my footsteps, like, the shadow under the door. And, like, so Opie's barking. He knows he's not supposed to be barking, and he looks at me, and I'm like, no, keep barking. And he's like, woof, 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 woof. And so, like, I get a few steps closer, and he stops, and he's like, I know I'm not supposed to be doing this, but, and I'm like, no, I can't, do it again. And then he's like, okay, until I get to the door, and I see that it's a solicitor, and then I can just, like, stand there, like, staring through the peephole until they disappear down the stairs, assuming that I'm not there. So, I don't know why, like, it is my prerogative whether or not I open my own door to people who want to sell me stuff. And it's not even the selling stuff that is anxiety-inducing, because I can say no. I don't have too much of an issue saying no. It's that I'm always afraid that I'm going to open the door and it's going to end up being a serial killer. That's really the long and short of it. It's that I don't want to be murdered. So yeah, so that was my dweeb story, and I made Opie complicit in that dweeb story. I don't know how much he appreciated that. Maybe he really liked it, because he likes to bark. So yeah, let's just get into the knitting, okay? So let's just talk about some finished objects. All right, I only have a half object today. I didn't finish anything, like, significant. And I'm kind of, like, bummed about this finished object. I'm really hoping this episode is not, like, a total downer. But anyway. So I finished one of the Bates Motel socks, which I was knitting for my dad. So here it is in all its glory. Legacy Fiber Arts in the Mother's Home colorway on their Cozy Toes base, which is the merino cashmere nylon base. I still love the yarn. I love working with it. But I think I mentioned this on the last episode that I was getting into the foot or something. Maybe I didn't mention it. Oh gosh, I don't know. But I was worried that it was not going to be big enough. And I was correct. So these are supposed to be a surprise for my dad. And so I went over to my parents to do laundry, because I still do my laundry at my parents' house. Because I don't, because using the machines in our building makes me nervous, because my landlord said that, she's like, oh yeah, and everybody in the building has, like, a specific time that they've kind of worked out when they do their laundry. And I'm like, but I don't know what all those times are, and I don't want to, like, ruin somebody's routine because I had to wash some laundry, and now everything is messed up and they're gonna hate me. Anyway, so I went over there, and my mom has really similar size feet to my dad as well. Like, her feet are slightly bigger than mine, so they're probably actually closer in size than mine are. And she tried them on, and they were, like, way too small. And I don't know how that is possible, because I knit the leg and the foot longer than I have done any other sock. I don't know if maybe it's because it's vanilla. I don't know. It's the same size needle. The yarn is pretty plump. I've knit with thinner yarn with less rows, and it has turned out bigger. Maybe I was just really stressed while I was knitting it. I don't know, but... And then I got it off the needles, and I was looking at it, and I had all the gaps in the heel that I had to stitch up, and I was like, what is wrong with me? And, like, you can see, I don't know, maybe you can't see, like, in this general area, like, the pulling, and I don't like that. And then I was looking at it, and I was like, what is that? Because, I have since patched it up, but there was, like, this giant ladder. That's never happened to me before, not even on my very first pair of socks, which is where you would expect all the laddering to be. Yeah, so that was the delivery man delivering my Sephora order, which I'm very excited about, but I didn't open because This is my priority currently. Sorry, my hair is like, I feel like I look like I have a comb over today. What was I saying? Oh, right. So there's this giant ladder, and I was really annoyed by it, and I was like, I'm not happy with how this looks, and so I'm gonna have to start a different pair of socks. I think I'm gonna do a ribbed pair for my dad, just to be on the safe side. And then I guess these will be mine, which is annoying, because I didn't want to use the yarn for vanilla socks. I was gonna do a Hermione's Everyday sock because I thought that the texture would look really cool. But now all my dreams are dashed. So it's vanilla socks for me. Whatever. It's fine. Yeah, so that's it. That's all my finished objects. So let's talk about some works in progress. Yes, I have a couple. So the first one is my exordium shawl, by Rebecca Picot. And I've actually been working on this pretty monogamously since I finished that sock for reasons I will explain later. But I have made quite a bit of progress on this. Really loving working on this. I think it's just been really good for me this week because I just have not had the brain space for anything complicated, or it's just been nice to just have like all this garter stitch in pretty colors in nice soft yarn that I like working with. So this was where I was, where the Progress Keeper was. I just kind of started working on the stripes, but I have since done the first lace section, the contrasting color garter section, and now I'm into the stripe section. And guys, oh my word, this lace is everything to me. Here, let me see if I can give you a close-up without it just, I'm trying to look through the lace to see if you can kind of get a sense of it. So yeah, it's really pretty how you stripe the colors through the lace, and it's this pretty star stitch pattern. And I really feel like if you are a knitter who is very interested in knitting lace but has not yet done it because you are worried that it's going to be too hard, this pattern is going to be so good for you, because this is such a simple lace pattern with such a high impact. Like, I really just enjoyed knitting it. Like when I did my mustard seed shawl, the lace was an accomplishment because I'd never done it before, but it was really stressful, like from start to finish. But this one, like, was just really lovely. It was almost, you know, as easy as the garter stitch. But I just love the way all these sections are playing together. Not loving, okay, I don't know if it's our climate or what, but like, even, and I've never had a problem with my Haya interchangeable cables being really annoying and kinky, but this one is really annoying and kinky, and it's driving me crazy, but whatever, I have to just survive. There are worse things that could be happening in my life. But yeah, I love how these colors are working out. Oh, look how pretty. Isn't it going to look so nice? Maybe not with red lipstick, but this is going to be my car knitting, I think, for the Knitters Frolic, if I haven't finished it by then, in which case I don't even know what my car knitting will be. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this pattern, and I have exciting news about the giveaway about this pattern, which I will talk about after the whips, which I meant to do at the beginning, but because I'm like so today, the announcements are coming after the administration. But yeah, so the Exordium Shawl by Rebecca Picot, Fuse Fiber Studio, who also dyes incredible yarn. Yeah, I just flip in. Love it. I really do. It has been so enjoyable. It's just been perfect for me right now. And was there something else I wanted to talk about that shawl? not. Maybe it was just I wanted to talk about the lace. Oh, no. I thought when I bought the yarn that I was gonna prefer using the blue, the Julie Aslin. Oh, that's what the yarn is. The blue is Julie Aslin in her Lizu or Lezu fingering, which is a merino silk blend. And I think it's a Speckle 2 colorway. I don't think it has a fancy name. And then the pink, the variegated pink is Manos del Uruguay in Alegria in the Kaibo colorway. Let me see. I think there's a number in here too. A8686. Here, in case you wanted to see it. 7525. But I thought that I would like definitely prefer working with the blue just because of the blend. But I actually, if you've never worked with Manos del Uruguay Alegria, like, get on that because it is so soft. Like, it's just, both of them are really soft and I really enjoy working with them, but man alive. Man alive. That's one of those things that I adopted from Luke without meaning to when we started dating. But yeah, yes, and that's of course being housed in my fox bag by Luke with my little birdie zipper pull. And I also just like really satisfies something in me that the project matches the bag so well. Yes. And then my other work in progress that I wanted to talk about is my granny stripe blanket, because I've done a lot of work on it and I've made some decisions regarding it. I'm in the middle of a row right now. But I think I had, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I feel like I maybe had 16 rows. Maybe. The last time. So I've probably almost doubled that. So here it is. In all its stripy glory. Wow. There's one part of this that, like, I love so much. It's this section where you have those, like, corally pinks. So up until this last kind of, I guess, round of working on it, I had decided I was only going to do single stripes and not like go to the end of the scrap. But then I was thinking about it and I was like, that's silly, because a lot of the yarns I'm using are variegated or they're like from self-patterning commercial yarns, so they look like they're like broken apart tiny scraps anyway. And I was like, and sometimes, you know, you get to the end of your row and you still have maybe like 3 grams left, and then you can't really do anything with the 3 grams, and then it just hangs around or you throw it away, and that seems like a waste. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna knit to the end. If the mini or the scrap is 15 grams or less, I'm just gonna knit to the end, and it's fine. And I don't regret that decision. So I've been putting in like the remainders of some of the original yarns that I had only small amounts left of, some of the minis from Kath, the lovely Kath, and yeah, really enjoying it. I'm working on one of her minis right now, and it's just another project that's been good for me because it requires zero thought, but now that I know that I'm going to just continue like to the end of my scraps, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making, once I've used up all the scraps I already have, I think I'm going to start making like a magic cake instead of like individually wrapping minis, because I think I have to figure out how to do the magic knot because it was like eluding me the last time I tried to learn it. But it'll be considerably less ends to weave in and whatever. But yeah, I'm really happy that Luke really likes it. You can see my spring tones coming in here. Yeah, so I did put in my Pure Joy colors. You can see them kind of in there. And I'll be adding that in, some more of that later. There's some lichen and lace in there. There's some indigo dragonfly, some sweet Georgia, some flock fiber, which is a Canadian indie dyer. I ordered their zombie yarn. Oh my gosh, sorry. Ah! I'm taking out my stitches. No big. Okay, I'm just probably gonna use it for a thumbnail later anyway. Okay, so the only other thing I wanted to talk about that's whip related, I'm not gonna show because there's no point. I put maybe like 6 rows on my Opie socks, which are knit out of the Ancient Arts Pug Dog colorway. And I'm kind of thinking I might frog them because I don't like knitting that vanilla latte socks pattern. It looks nice. I'm not saying it doesn't look nice. I just don't physically enjoy knitting it. And I want to enjoy knitting the socks that are like representative of Opie. And yeah, so I'm thinking I might frog them, and I'm also not super happy with the gauge of the yarn. Like, it's just, I feel like maybe that yarn needs to be knit on a 2.5, and I have 2.5 millimeter DPNs, so I might try that, or I might see if I can pick up a pair of 2.5 millimeter sock needles at the Knitters Frolic on Saturday, but yeah, I don't know, like, I don't want to force, like, I literally have to force myself to work on them, and that shouldn't be how it is, right? Like, I should want to work on the socks, because I really like the yarn, I really like the, like, spirally micro stripe kind of thing. I just, and I don't know why I did that twisted rib. I don't like twisted rib on socks for me, personally. I don't know what I was thinking. Also, like, I just don't think that it gets as, maybe I'm mistaken, maybe I'm totally out to lunch here, but I feel like you don't get as much stretch, and I kind of need it because I have rather shapely calves. So, if I don't want to, like, lose circulation in my legs and my feet, I probably should just go for, like, a 1x1 regular twisted rib, regular rib, or 2x2 rib. And I think I'm also considering maybe doing a ribbed sock, like just a regular ribbed sock for the Opie socks, just because I feel like maybe that will help with that, the density, like the feeling of the fabric once they're on the foot. Which I really don't like frogging things. The reason I don't like frogging things is because I hate having to rewind the yarn. It's so irritating to me, but whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? Okay, so Opie's growling at the sliding door. So that's it for works in progress. I have no acquisitions this week that are knitting related. Because the frolic, I know I've mentioned like 4 times, it's on Saturday, and I'm really excited, and I've been making my game plan. Like, I've even been like, okay, so one of the projects that I'm going to be buying for, hopefully, is an exploration station, and I thought maybe I would try to do my, oh man, Opie's asking for water, okay, BRB, at the speed of light, she's back. Yeah, so, I want to possibly do the exploration station, which of course is a pattern by Stephen West that needs no introduction, out of lichen and lace, and because they're gonna have their own booth. Like, it's not even like I'm going to like a yarn shop stall that carries lichen and lace. Oh, are you coming to join me? Oh, you can't see him. Come here, Opie. Come here. Okay, I don't know if he's gonna. Are you gonna come over here? They have their own booth, which is really exciting. And I'm hoping... Opie, come here. What a grumpy guts. I'm hoping that they have their singles base, because I really want to knit the exploration station of singles. It's just a thing that I want. But I was like on their website, and I was like screen capping their yarns and like putting together like different color palettes. So cross your fingers for me that they have what I'm looking for. I'm also looking to buy for a Sizzle Pop shawl, and I don't know, whatever else I guess catches my eye. But yeah, so obviously no acquisitions this week. So let me get into the administration, and I have a title for it today. Are you ready for it? It's now not administration. It's gonna be an announcements section, like conceptually an announcements section, and it's called Hear Ye, Hear Ye. That was a cowbell. Or like whatever, you know, like the town crier. It's not funny when you explain it. Anyway, I have some announcements, really exciting ones for you guys. So some of you have seen it in the Ravelry group, but I have put up 2 giveaways. What? Yes, I have put up the bag giveaway, and Luke finished the bag last night. He challenged himself to finish it. He overcame some obstacles to finish it, so he's like, I want you to be able to show it on the podcast. But yes, here is hold on, it's got some lint on it from sitting on my cart. Here it is, guys. Yeah. Hold on, there we go. And it's fully lined, of course, with just a nice mid-tone cotton. And it's got little pull tab. And yeah, so this, I would say it's a little bit shorter than the other ones that he's made, but I feel like you could probably still fit 2 skeins in here. Like, I feel like 2 skeins, yeah, I think that would fit. At the very least, a small project bag. It's not going to fit your sweater, unfortunately, but it is here. This is what is up for grabs. So the giveaway's up, and it goes until May 2nd is when it will close, and I will announce the winner on the following episode, which I'm hoping like I will be able to record and post it on Wednesday, but there's a possibility that it won't get posted until Thursday. So either way, it'll happen that week. So make sure you go and enter. There's a prompt in the thread. I believe the prompt for this one is like what color palette color palettes you're drawn to, what you like to knit with or crochet with. Yeah, so there's the first giveaway prize, and then the second giveaway that's been posted is the Exordium shawl pattern by Rebecca Bicot, of course, like I said before, but Rebecca has sweetened the pot, okay? Rebecca, like I said, is also a wonderful yarn dyer, Fuse Fiber Studio. You should go and look them up. She has offered 2 skeins of merino singles to knit your Exordium shawl with. What? Is that not incredible? I was like, that's amazing. That's gonna be so great. So make sure you run to that forum, okay? You run to the Ravelry group and you post in that giveaway thread, because that is a prize that you want to win. And I think the prompt for that one is who are the most knitworthy people in your life, and that can include you, of course, you yourself. And the same thing, the thread will close, I think by 10 o'clock on May 2nd, and I will announce the winner, of course, by random number generator. All the giveaways will be by random number generator, as far as I can tell, will be announced. And you will be put in contact with Rebecca. Amazing. And that's not all, guys. So I believe it was last week. Yes, it was. I mentioned Kath of Knitter Scarlet, who had sent me this lovely peach pie yarn. This peachy, sandy skein of yarn. And she has decided to offer you guys a coupon code. Yes, a coupon code for the viewers of the podcast. And the coupon code is, let me just double check, Anxious Knitter 15, and it's 15% off in her shop. So go and check her out. Of course, I will link that in the show notes. Thank you so much, Kath. That's so kind of you. I hope you guys are able to pick out some really nice British yarn. Yeah. Was there anything? I think that was it. Oh, just about the Ravelry group. I'm so glad to see that people are enjoying it. And I love reading all your introductions. I know I don't reply individually to everyone because honestly that's kind of overwhelming to me just as a person, but I do read all of them. I read them to Luke. I love hearing about your lives, and of course every few posts I will pop in to say hello, but just know that I'm really excited to see you guys there. And yeah, so there's an introductions thread, the giveaway threads, some show notes, and it's called the Get Nosy thread if you want to ask any questions. And somebody did ask if I would record a video of how I cast on socks, because I do knit magic loop, and I will do that. It will not be in this episode. I didn't get a chance to record it because I need to get Luke to record it. I tried to record it on my phone, and I had like yarn wrapped around it and then wrapped around my neck, and the thing was like hanging here like this, and then I was working, but then my phone was like, you don't have enough room on your phone for this video, and then I couldn't finish the video. So I will get Luke to film that properly on my DSLR, and I will try to have that for next episode. Okay, so yes, I think that's all for announcements. And that means that we are at the end of the knitting portion of the podcast. So if that's all you came for, that's great. I hope you enjoyed it. I know this episode was a little weird, and I hope you forgive me. I will try to be back on track for next week. And then, yeah, so I will see you guys next week. But if you would like to stick around for my final segment, that would be my life, etc. Yes. Okay. Just a couple of things to talk about. Luke and I went out for my birthday yesterday. We went to a all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant in downtown Kitchener called, I'm gonna butcher this, so I'm really sorry. I think it's Kinkaku Izakaya. And we've been once before with friends. It's really good. But, it's one of those, like, it's really, like, high in demand, so like we had like an hour wait, so I ended up going and buying nail polish at the drugstore across the street. And then our waitress was like really pushy, like trying to make us order things that we didn't want, and then like she was being so pushy that I think she was writing down what we were actually ordering kind of incorrectly, but it's okay. It was really loud and whatever, it's fine, it's totally fine. I'm not one of those people who gets like all like about restaurant service, unless like somebody has like spat on my plate in front of me, then like I'm probably gonna be cool. It was good, but like it was just one of those things where I really didn't want to go and eat so much that I just wanted to like Ralph afterward, and I thought that I had managed it, and then as soon as I stood up I was like, wow, if I have to pick something up off the floor, something unpleasant's gonna happen. But still, it was nice. It's just nice to go out, really. And we watched Passengers, which was not what I was expecting it to be. But I liked it. It was not a complicated movie. And sometimes that's nice. Sometimes it's nice to just have a simple, like, heartwarming story that happens to be set in space. I think that, like, if it had a higher budget, it probably would have been that much more spectacular, but I enjoyed it. It was an entertaining movie. Would I watch it again? Probably not, but yeah. And then the only other thing I wanted to talk about was just, like, it was just a little story from preschool. Gosh, so indicative of my week though. So yesterday, it was a pretty good class, and then we were in second playtime before they go home. So like, the way the program is structured is they come in, they have playtime, then we have a large circle where we sing some songs, and then we have a small group where they break up into small groups with us, and then we have like some set group of activities that we have to get through with the kids in our group, and then they have snack, and then they have a playtime, then we read a story, and then they go home, and this all happens in about 2 hours. It's remarkable. So we were in second playtime, and I had this one little girl, she came over and she wanted me to read her a story, so I sat down. And I had another girl come over, and she wanted to read the story with us, so she came and sat in my lap, and I had the book in front of me, I had barely gotten through the title, and there's a kid beside me starts wailing. And I look over, and like she is just full on crying, and I thought maybe somebody had taken her toy or something, so I was like, what's the matter? And she's like pointing to her nose, like somebody had bumped her in the nose, and the only kid that was nearby was this little boy who is a real sweetheart. So I didn't think that if anything it was going to be an accident. I was like, did you maybe bump her on the nose? And he was like, oh no, like I didn't do it. And then he explained to me who did it and what happened, and essentially some kid, this is what I worked out from like this 3-year-old's explanation, was this other girl came over. I think she wanted a toy that the first girl was playing with. Sorry, I can't obviously say names. And obviously didn't want to give it up. And she just went like this into her face. And so I was like, oh no. And I was like, oh, well, like, are you okay? Like, and then I look at her and blood starts coming out of her nose. And I was like, whoop. So like the kid on my lap is off. I've taken her up. Sitting there, like, pinching her nose, and, like, she's crying, she's all upset, obviously, who wouldn't be? I would be crying and upset. Do you know how many times Opie has almost given me a nosebleed? Because he's jumped on my face. And so, like, I literally, the way to keep things chill, oh wait, I think there's lipstick on my teeth. Embarrassing, though. Was, like, I'm sitting there pinching her nose and singing Disney princess songs. And unfortunately, they all love Frozen, which is my least favorite Disney princess movie. And so I'm sitting there singing Let It Go. I have one kid who's like just enjoying the moment and dancing to my rendition of Let It Go. And I have this other little girl, like, tears while she's bleeding from her face. And I'm singing as Elsa. And you know, I will say, there's something to be said about this age group, because they don't realize that I'm a mediocre singer, so to them, I'm like a princess when I'm singing, but it's just because they're not old enough to know better. So yeah, that was essentially my week. It was, I don't know, it was a rough one. I hope you can't tell, because I slept for like 2 hours last night. And I was like, whoa, pack on the concealer, please. Natural light. Oh my god. Do you ever have those, like, days where every, like, the most minor thing just feels like a catastrophe? Like, just listening to my dog bark is suddenly, like, the most unbearable thing that could be happening to me. I have Peter Rabbit tonight. I don't want to go. I don't want to go, guys. But I'm gonna. Because I don't miss things. I never take sick days or anything. Unless, like, I have to. Like, unless I have to actually be somewhere else, I'm always at work. But anyway, that is it for me today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Oh, sorry. If you would like to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on Ravelry as dabblejoy, and you can find me on Instagram, where I am the most active, as Rhineland Story. Yes, so next week I will probably have a lot to talk about, because I will have been to Toronto, and I will have stuff I bought for knitting again. And hopefully just I will be a little less bizarro. But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope you do things that make you happy. And if you're having a funky week like me, just cling to the knowledge that it will not last forever. Yes, so happy knitting, happy living, over and out.